Hi Scorpio, here's your astrology overview for 2024, brought to you by planetswithin.com. I'm astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, 2024 is going to be a monumental year for many, especially for you since your ruler, Pluto, will be moving again back into the sign of Aquarius, and it'll be highlighting your fourth house of home, feeling, and foundation. So for many of you, you'll feel like there's a desire to move. There's a change to the family dynamics. There is just something to do with real estate or land, for that matter. And you'll feel it. Some of you may be becoming more nostalgic because Pluto in the fourth house could make you pretty nostalgic. So this is going to set the stage for the year of 2024. Now, many of the things that we see as astrologers have to do with the outer planets. So from Jupiter out, these are the indicators of some of the changes that are occurring. And then we also have the eclipses each year. And they are going to be highlighting the area of your chart having to do with spirituality and work. And partnerships are going to be a major issue for many of you this year. So this reading is for anyone who has a sun sign Scorpio or a rising sign Scorpio. And it's a very general overview because I obviously don't have everybody's birthday and everyone's birth chart is different. So, but this is going to be a big year for so many. And as the outer planets, interact with each other, we are going to see these changes unfolding. I have charts and dates here that I want you to pay attention to and see what develops and how it unfolds in your personal life. So let's get going and take a look at what's happening here. So the first planet we're going to look at is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has been in Taurus. It's been in retrograde, but at the beginning of the year, on the 1st, it goes direct. That means that its energy is now more powerful. So from now until May the 25th, Jupiter continues to stay in that 7th house of relationships for many of you. So this could be a good time for attracting people in your personal life or in your business life, because Taurus, like you, deals with all these things here: values, monies, being stubborn, materialistic. You're the opposite sign of Taurus. So opposites always have similarities, and they have differences, but there's a lot more in common between opposites. So Jupiter in Taurus is going to help you, get people closer, bring deals together, work things out, negotiate. This is all part of the equation with Jupiter going direct on the very first day of 2024. But on the 25th, Jupiter enters Gemini. Now, it's a totally different ballgame when Jupiter is in Gemini, because Jupiter in Gemini loves to think and loves to talk. And so this is going to enter your 8th house of transformation. So all these things here that are associated with these words will be highlighted in that 8th house. So you'll be curious about the deeper part of life. You'll be curious about financial matters. You'll be curious about sexuality. You'll be curious about, how things really work in the world. There's definitely more intuition and more brain power when Jupiter is in Gemini. And for you guys, it'll be in the 8th house. So intuition will be very strong. Insightfulness, being able to figure things out psychologically will be very strong. And in turn, you might be talking to a lot more people. If you're a natural counselor, healer, teacher, advisor, you may be extremely busy this coming year having to do with your profession while you're helping others. And this is what Jupiter in Gemini is going to bring in. So, there's going to be a totally different dynamic with Jupiter in Gemini as opposed to Jupiter in Taurus. Now, Saturn will continue to make its way through Pisces all the way until February 2026. And this is actually quite beneficial. It's in your 5th house. So it's teaching you a lot about discipline. It's teaching you a lot about your fun, the fun in your life, speculation, things that you enjoy doing with family. And it's very mystical. It's a very spiritual alignment. And it does work very well. Saturn does work very well in Pisces, because Pisces has the imagination and the dreams, and Saturn has the realistic energy to bring it down to earth. So these two do work very well. And since it's continuing to go through your 5th house, you're starting to realize what real love is, and you're starting to realize and the people in your life that you really appreciate, are getting closer to you in some way. Most likely it's the children, if you have children. If it has nothing to do with that, maybe it has to do with projects. You've got projects you've been wanting to work on, and this will help you bring it into reality throughout the entire year. Uranus continues to make its way through Taurus. Uranus is very important because Uranus is the planet that represents doing things out of the normal and being innovative. And so this has been in your 7th house for quite a while, since May 2018, continues till April to 2026. And this is changing up the dynamics of the people in your life. You know, you're seeing people for who they are. You're pushing away from people that don't belong in your life anymore. You know, you're meeting quirky, unusual people. People are surprising you with what they say. You know, this is all part of the umbrella of Uranus. Now, Uranus is going to wake up on the 27th, and I will go into that as well with the chart. And that's going to give you some more, you know, energy in that 7th house to change things up with partnerships and relationships. And it'll be direct for about 7.5 to 8 months, all the way until, I believe, August. So, again, it'll help you with relationships of all kinds. Now, here's the big one. Obviously, Pluto is your ruler, and it's going into Aquarius once again on the 20th and 21st. As a matter of fact, it'll conjunct the sun on the 20th and 21st. So there could be some major surprises on the home front with your feelings, something to do with family life. This could all be, you know, part of the mix here. And of course, these are all the key words with Pluto going into Aquarius. Aquarius rules humanity. It has to do with electricity, it has to do with innovation, nuclear events, robots, technology, rebelliousness. This is all part of the umbrella of humanity. That's under the Aquarius sign. And of course, Pluto is death and rebirth, transformation, psychological change, you know. And so we're going to see society completely change over the next 20 years because of Pluto going through Aquarius. And for you guys, most of that change is going to be in the 4th house in astrology, which is the house having to do with the foundation. So your foundation will completely change in the next 20 years, and it'll begin this year. So let's look at your chart here, see what I'm talking about. Here's Jupiter right there, starting off, going direct on the very first day of January. Here is Uranus in retrograde. It'll go direct on the 27th. Here is Saturn in your 5th house, along with Neptune right there. So there's a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of loving and compassion towards family and close people in your life. Here is Pluto. Here's the Pluto that's going to switch signs on the 20th of January, go into that 4th house. And that's a lot of energy coming in, you know, going into that house. Of course, we have Mercury coming out of retrograde as well in the 2nd house of income and value. But fortunately, Venus and Mars are both in the 2nd house as well. So there's a lot of thought about financial matters or the material side of life. And so we're going to see a lot of these changes implemented this year. And the eclipses, and I get to the eclipses, they're going to be highlighting the 6th house. 2 of them will be highlighting the 12th house, and then there's one in Pisces over here. And I'll get to those a little bit later. But here on the 27th, we have Uranus, you know, moving direct. There it is in stationary position before it moves direct. And then here we have Pluto, which came in on the 20th and 21st, conjunct the sun. So some major surprises could take place in the home life right there. But as it makes its way through the 4th house, it continues to highlight feelings, emotions, family dynamics, real estate, land, all of that stuff that falls under this umbrella here. This is all about security and you know, feeling safe and all this other stuff. And so with Uranus there, it tends to shake things up. So we may see some shakeups taking place here in January for some of you. Here are some of the major trends or transits that you need to take hold of, especially when Pluto's involved right there. Anything to do with Jupiter has to do with other people because Jupiter's going through your 7th and 8th house. So here's the big one, January 20th, Pluto enters Aquarius. Then on the 20th, here's a big one, Jupiter conjuncts Uranus in Taurus. Now this could be surprises from other people, a surprise revelation, a surprise conversation. Could be something to do with finances as well, you know, with a partnership. There's some more positive alignments here. May the 23rd, Jupiter sextiles Neptune in your 5th house. So this could be something quite beneficial or very nice that comes in. And on the 25th, Jupiter enters Gemini, definitely a different change of venue or energy. And then June the 2nd, Jupiter trines Pluto, another very favorable alignment from the 4th house to the 8th house. So this could be something very nice that comes in, having to do with family or maybe a trust or an inheritance or something to do with just an important conversation that helps heal the family. But the second half of the year looks a little wonky and weird. Because we do have some outer planets that are going to be getting entangled here, like August the 19th, Jupiter square Saturn in the fifth house. So Jupiter will be in Gemini. It'll square Saturn in your fifth house. So this could be something to do with a child, maybe a child's education, maybe an important conversation that you have to have with a family member, such as a father or a mother, and it's a very uncomfortable one. For whatever reason that is, could be politics, could be about money, could be about safety, it depends. September 1st, Pluto re-enters Capricorn. Now, it only re-enters Capricorn at the last degree. When a planet enters the last degree of a sign, it usually takes on the characteristics of both signs. So Capricorn and Aquarius energy are still at play, even though Pluto has entered Capricorn, which has to do with your thinking, it has to do with your home life, and then it permanently, for the next 20 years, stays and re-enters Aquarius on the 19th and stays in that fourth house for you for the next 20 years. And so it's not going back into Capricorn again. And then, of course, December the 6th, we have Mars, your co-ruler, going retrograde in Leo. And this could be a really weird time at the end of the year where things begin to slow down and get really strange for everybody. And it could be something that's taking place outside of our control, like economics or financial or, government issues or weather-related matters, as I've pointed out in my 2024 video for overall. And then again, Jupiter square Saturn once again. And we could see here that that wonky, heavy energy again between the Jupiter in Gemini in the 8th, square Saturn in the 5th. So whatever issue comes up here in August, you'll have to revisit it again at the end of the year in December. Okay, so kind of a weird time. Now here are the eclipses that I want to cover because they are very important, and we're going to see quite a few dynamic changes taking place as we do every year. So here's the first one on March the 25th. It's a lunar eclipse in Libra, which has to do with that 12th house. 12th house happens to be about endings, completions, realizations. But this is the big one, April the 8th, total solar eclipse in Aries, which is going to highlight that 6th house of daily routine, health, work, service, job. That's going to be huge. This September 17th one could be a little bit of a confusing one, but at the same time, it is a lunar eclipse in Pisces in that 5th house. So there could be some conclusions or awareness or something that ends at this time. And then this other one is a solar eclipse in Libra, once again highlighting that 12th house. And I have a chart for each one of these, and I'll go over them. But this could be the start of something new, a new partnership, a new gathering of some kind. So here's the first eclipse on the 25th, and this is going to be at 5 degrees of Libra. It'll be opposing the sun in the 6th house. So basically what this is indicating to me is something to do with relationships, a relationship matter, something that's come to a full cycle, something that's ending, something that's concluding. Could be a job, could be a health-related matter. Maybe somebody's been sick for a while and they've finally gotten over it, stuff like that. Could be the end of a pet, or the ending or conclusion of an animal that's been in your life for, let's say, 20 years. It's usually, lunar eclipses are usually associated with completions or endings, okay? Or realizations, that's what it means. And again, it depends on your actual birth chart and how everything is aspected in your chart. This is, again, a very general overview, but it does indicate or seem to indicate something to do with family dynamics, possibly an older person, because the ruler of this eclipse is Venus, and there's Venus right there conjuncting Saturn. So this could be something to do with health matters, could be something to do with an elderly person or somebody in your life that you care about that may be in the picture. Here is the solar eclipse in Aries. Now this is huge because this is going to be at 19 degrees of Aries in the 6th house. So something new is emerging here. Something new is being created. Could be a health routine. Could be a new exercise program. It could be a new job. It could be, just changing up your routine and empowering yourself in some way. And so we're going to see a lot of heavy energy building up in this part of your chart. And so this is a golden opportunity to advance an agenda on a personal level, as well as helping others in some way. Could be getting a new pet. That could be something also under this umbrella. But whatever it is, it's in the sign of Aries, which represents the self. So self-realization, self-aware, propelling oneself forward. Now, the lunar eclipse on the 17th The dynamics are a little heavier, a little bit more down and out, because the full moon will be at 25 degrees of Pisces, which will be conjunct Neptune right there. So there's a sadness associated with this full moon lunar eclipse. Not only that, it's making a square to Jupiter in the 8th house. So there's either a loss here going on, or something is coming to an end that you're not sure what the heck is going on, or you feel saddened by it. Could be loss of a friend, could be somebody moving away to college. It could be some sort of financial change that is causing some disruption or large loss of money. It could be any of these things. And again, it could be indirectly affecting you, like the financial system changing and going to a digital currency, as they've been talking about, or some sort of change to the political structure of the United States, which I have been saying is going to occur. So it could be any of these things in the fall. The fall months really look weird, okay? So this is for everybody, not just you guys. So keep an eye on the politics, keep an eye on what's really going on in the world, because it will affect all of us one way or another. The solar eclipse, the last one, is in Libra right here in the 12th house. This will be at 10 degrees of Libra. This has a lot to do with partnerships, spiritual partnerships, relationships that are, more solidified in compassion and understanding. And this could be, a nostalgic time, but it also could be bringing together people to help each other. Now, Venus is in Scorpio this time, so you either have a bigger role at this time about helping others or being more compassionate towards others. And this could be family members, this could be friends, this could be associates, this could be your neighbors. Okay, so I am seeing some weird stuff going on in October. And it could be weather related, as I've talked about in my 2024 video, that there could be cosmic events that take place that we'll be paying attention to. It could be something going on with society at this time. We'll have to see. But there's definitely a lot more compassion coming from you guys at this time with this eclipse. Now, here are the Mercury retrogrades that we need to pay attention to. First one is not as important because it's coming out of retrograde on the very first day of January on 2024. So Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius. That's that second house of income and value. So for many of you, you're feeling a little bit more optimistic as we start off the year. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to take care of this. I need to get myself into gear, and so on and so forth. But this second Mercury retrograde is during the eclipse, or right before it, and it's in Aries. So you may be going back to a job or revisiting something or someone from the past that maybe you had a connection with in terms of work-wise. And this is returning something, you're connecting with people. You're connecting with situations from the past. You're becoming more aware of things within your own personal life on a daily basis. So this is one to look forward to. On August 5th, we have one in Virgo. And this has a lot to do with the people in your life and situations in your life and groups and organizations in your life. And maybe you're analyzing that more deeply, where you've been, all the steps you've taken to get to where you are right now. So this could be part of that retrograde that brings up the past. And this one on November 25th is in Sagittarius once again, having to do with money, finances, values, beliefs. And depending on what's going on in the world at that time, you'll be really questioning it all. What the heck is going on politically? What's going on with funding? What's going on with investments? What's going on with the world? You may be questioning all of that at this time with the last Mercury retrograde. Anyway, these are the dates that I've jotted down. Everything in red is something we need to really pay attention to because the energy around these dates is very strong. And anywhere you see Mars or you see Pluto, you need to pay attention to because that affects you. So here's the first one, the Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. That's that fourth house. Look for some surprises there. Again, Mars will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This was the Sun, now it's Mars. This brings in a lot more heavy energy coming in when Mars conjuncts Pluto. It's explosive energy. Mars squares Uranus. This is also very unpredictable energy that we're seeing here. This could have something to do with career, and other people. And then, of course, as we go into the spring season, these eclipses are going to be highlighted. But here's a major one, April the 20th, as I pointed out earlier. This one's one you really want to watch. And again, in May the 13th, the Sun conjuncts Uranus and Taurus. So these could be about partnerships, relationships, new people coming into your life. And so very important, and with the May 19th as well, Venus conjuncts Uranus. So again, surprises. Here's a continuation of that energy. Here's a favorability alignment right there. But the second half of the year looks pretty wonky. So let's see how it unfolds. But July the 15th, we have Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus once again in that 7th house. Unpredictability with relationships. And there's that square I talked about on the 19th. Pluto in conjunct Capricorn. We're seeing the same things with that lunar eclipse in Pisces, the solar eclipse in Libra. Pluto goes direct in right there in Capricorn, and will finally leave there on the 19th and re-enter Aquarius. And there are the slowdowns at the end of the year. So the second half of the year really looks weird and strange, where the energy either slows down or we're going through a different cycle that really feels weird. And all of us will be feeling it, not just one person or one sign, but I think everyone will be feeling it. So the way we get over that is always remind yourself of this. This is what I do. This is what I suggest to all my clients. Remember who you really are. You're a spiritual energy being in a physical container having a human experience. We're spiritual beings of light. That's what it comes down to, from this mystical spiritual side or the scientific side. It doesn't matter. Both says the same thing. Every cell in our being is made up of the source. The source is light. And so we are a part of that. The more you know this and you feel it and you live it, the more life won't get you down, won't depress you, you'll just feel nice and steady, and you'll happily achieve what it is you want to achieve and experience in this life. That's how it works. All right, so make it a good one here. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share, and follow me on social media. I do my best to try and share as much information as I can, as I see it. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But have a great year, Scorpio, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.